Okay, this is Saul Silverstein. I'm chairman of the Orange Government Access Television Committee. This is our meeting of September 9th. With me on Zoom is Marlene Silverstein, the recording secretary, Ron Davis, the OGAT coordinator, Gary Del Piano, committee member, Mike Muddett, committee member, Bob Kelly, committee member, and our assistant coordinator, Chris Kelly. A senior moment there for a second. Okay, first item on the agenda tonight is questions and comments. And I do have some comments, but I'm going to defer those to the section of the agenda that deals with the coordinator reports and what was going on in the studio during the last couple of months. Second item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2021 meeting. I've sent everyone a copy. May I have a motion to approve?
Mike
Monet and Bob Kelly seconded. Thank you. Is there any discussion?
No.
No.
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. See, unanimous. Thank you very much. I've sent out the budget. There's only one page to the budget report this month, which is the town-funded portion of the budget. The OGAT budget was not available. I didn't get a copy of it, actually. I don't know if it's available or not. So far, we've spent about 8% of the miscellaneous supplies and equipment line item, about 6% of the temporary salaries for camera operators, 25% for the coordinator salary, 22% for the assistant coordinator salary, and about, 5% for temporary salaries for camera operators. The other 5.7% was for the recording secretary. Is there any question on the budget? Nope. All right. So coordinators, we did not get coordinator reports this month. There was a delay in generating the data. Chris had a particularly busy month this month and was not able to pull the data down from the website and give it to Ron. So we'll work on that. And what I do have is during the last month and a half or so, there was several problems or small issues that I saw on the channel 79, or actually on YouTube, mostly on our screen. The TPZ meeting of August 3rd had 21 minutes of an image of the town logo showing before the meeting actually began. So that should have been edited out because that was probably setup time. And so I've asked Chris to if he can take that off of YouTube and put just the meeting portion on. So I'm hoping you can get to that, Chris. I know you've had a busy month. And a similar issue occurred with the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of August 2nd. There was a few minutes missing of just a logo showing, I think like 4 or 5 minutes. But then that program also had a little issue. The meeting was August 2nd, but the titling all says August 1st. So the meeting was August 2nd, so that needs to be fixed. And
you're staying on, I'm sorry.
Some of that titling occurs in the middle of the program. I don't know how easy that's to fix, if at all. I'm hoping you can get to that stuff and take care of it for us.
Yep. The editing is pretty simple. That can be done in YouTube. I don't have to take the program down. I could just edit the beginning and the end. In YouTube itself, it allows me to do that. So that's not a problem. The title if you're saying that there may have been a typo in the zoning appeals program, if that was the case and it was occurring in like a lower third or upper third or something, That would be kind of difficult to correct in YouTube without taking the video down. And I really try to hesitate. I hesitate to take it off in YouTube because you lose the view count, you lose like its place in its order. So it becomes, it'll show up as a recent video, even though it's been a month, past. It's not something I try to, I try to get it right the first time and avoid that. But I could certainly take, like the TelView Connect, I'm sorry, the Cloudcast copy can be re-uploaded, no problem. And I could fix it so that you won't see it in, like, if you were to watch it on 79, I could change it so you can get the right date on the program there. I can definitely do it. It's just in YouTube, I try not to take videos down unless I absolutely have to.
It'd make it hard to find.
Once you do that and you put them back up, they're completely out of order, right?
Yeah, and then you got to look and see what the latest video is, and it's a video from a month ago. And I like to try to keep everything chronologically in order. But if we really feel strongly that we should, correct that date in the program, I could take it down and re-upload it and edit it. I have no problem doing that.
No way to insert it in the right place?
What's that?
Is there no way to insert it in the right place?
No, it's the YouTube arranges the videos in terms of upload date. So if we were to take it down, if we were to delete it and re-upload it, it would, whatever date it's uploaded, you can't move it between programs or have any control over that.
Chris, can you edit the description on the video and not affect its order? So can you just put like star correction, this video notes this date, but the meeting is held blah?
I can absolutely do that. Yeah.
It's not perfect because not everybody looks at the description, but at least it's there and we noted we saw it.
Right. And the title of the video can be edited too, and it won't affect the order. So I think that as the title of that specific,
I think the title was right. It was just the video itself had the wrong date on it.
Right. So the title will have the right date. It's just if you're watching the meeting, you may look and see a lower or upper third. It may be displaying the wrong date.
And I think the opening title had the wrong date too, by the way. The opening title screen and the closing title screen may have had the wrong date. Those you would have to actually reload the program to fix.
Well, in YouTube, I don't have the opening titles because I don't upload these programs to YouTube. I stream them live, and then when the meeting is over, YouTube saves the video. So I don't have titles on YouTube content. Unless it's like something I do, unless I upload the video, unless I edit like the fireworks or something, and I didn't stream that on YouTube, so that's going to be uploaded. That will have titles, but like for the VOD, for the Cloudcast, and anything saved on the server, I could absolutely take that down, put the right title on it, correct it. I've actually corrected the title. I just need to upload it. So I did that. And I just need to get it onto the server. And
okay, I just checked my notes, and what's actually wrong on the Zoning Board of Appeals is it's mislabeled as August 1st on both the YouTube title and within the program itself. So you can fix the title.
I believe I fixed the title after I got your email saying that there was a correction that needed to be made, so I corrected the title.
All right, but to take out those first 4 minutes, though, what you're saying is that would upset the order that the program is displayed?
No, to take out the first 4 minutes is just something that I can do in YouTube, and it will not affect the order of the programming.
And then for the TPZ meeting, you'd have to take out 21 minutes at the beginning.
Right. That is not a problem. I probably just, that's one of the things that I have to do after a program is shot, like way before we actually start the meeting, and that just ensures everything's going to work right. What we do with this particular meeting, I start the live stream pretty close to when we're about to start the meeting, but for in-person meetings, I start the stream way before, and the editing function doesn't allow me to change it until like 24 hours after the meeting. So that was one of the things I I try to do within a day or two after the meeting's filmed, so people don't have to scroll through the dead space in the beginning. But I probably just got a little bit behind and didn't get the first programs edited.
All right, so if we can take care of that soon, that would be great.
Yeah.
The other one of the other things that happened during the month was there was an audio video misalignment on one of our programs. That was the June 21st Board of Finance meeting, and that I know you've taken care of already because it's all lined up now.
Good. I'm glad. I don't know why that happened, but I tried a couple things and it seemed to fix it. I haven't seen that problem since.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else. There was something else. Oh, yeah. A few times during the month, in between programs, we normally have the bulletin board and weather pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of that, we had a message that said info view, no content scheduled.
Yep.
And that notice kept coming up instead of the bulletin board. And I asked you to look at that, and that you took care of it. I remember you wrote me that you had taken care of it and told me why. But I think there's something with the Teleview system itself. Was that?
Yeah, it's happened. It happens from time to time. And the way I schedule the info view content, it's kind of like in a calendar format. So I have like essentially a playlist, and I can just copy that playlist into like a calendar sort of format. And when I do that, I basically do like a bulk copy, and I copy for like a whole year ahead of time. So like if I have content and I make a change to the info view, I make that change, and then it effectively it's scheduled for about a year ahead, just to prevent something like that from happening where you get a message saying no content scheduled. So it's just a weird anomaly that even though I have stuff scheduled and I have like content in each day slot for a year ahead of time, it doesn't over time it almost like it times out, and I look and see, I'm like, there's content scheduled, but for some reason I have to republish the content, and it's a simple button. You just click republish or publish, and then essentially the content comes back, and it starts playing the continuity again. I haven't figured out how long it takes for it to like time out, but I have to keep an eye on it and just kind of periodically, maybe monthly, just republish everything, and it seems to fix itself.
All right, just keep an eye on it then, I guess.
Yeah. And sometimes like if like there was a couple months where we didn't really have anything in the continuity. We didn't have a whole lot of slides that needed to be changed. When we add as we update and we add slides, to show different things, it will resync and then even further prevent that from happening. But when there's months where we don't update those slides, that's when we kind of run into the risk of having it time out. So I should definitely make a note. And I've been trying to basically every month just kind of go in there and republish the content.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to explain unless you kind of see how it's laid out, but it's not something that I think is broken. It's just something that, I mean, I could certainly mention it to Teleview, but it's just something I gotta basically remind myself to do periodically to prevent that from happening.
Okay. All right. And the other thing I think you mentioned to me was that we filled up the VOD server, and you have to remove some programs now.
Yeah. I've been trying to take the length, I've been trying to compress the final programs, the finalized file. I've been trying to keep that file size as small as possible while maintaining decent quality. But I just noticed we only have about 6 months of space, 6 months worth of content in the VOD. That's about what we had with Discover. But when it doesn't, when it fills up, it doesn't it will not let me import anything more. So I basically I just got to go and delete the old content and
I think 6 months is more than enough.
I think so. If you guys are comfortable with that, I mean, 6 months should be good. YouTube is unlimited space, so YouTube goes back from the first thing we uploaded. So it's really just that one platform we're kind of limited on, but we obviously keep all of our content and we archive it ourselves. I have ways of backing things up, so that's not we're not losing content. We're just losing, for that specific platform, we can only go back 6 months.
Okay. Thank you.
Mike, were you going to say something?
Excuse me?
I thought I saw Mike raise his hand, but
I was going to ask if there's any other questions for Chris or Ron. If not, we'll move on to the action items. And I had sent everyone a copy. We had closed 2 action items last time. The others that are still open is the Police Academy video. It's kind of getting long in the tooth there. Not sure what we're going to do with that now. It's well over a year.
I began to convert all the footage. I'm about halfway through. It's about, so I've gone through about 6 tapes, 6-hour-long tapes. I have about 6 more to do. And once I have all the footage, it'll be on a digital format, and you guys can let me know what you want me to do with it. I could put something together. I could just keep the archive.
I thought you were going to get it to a format where Ron could work it, or was that?
After it's all ready to go, then I'll work with you on
Sure.
seeing what we can do. Maybe have the police department help out a little.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I can let you know when I finish. I should, I got to put maybe it's not I come in, I work on stuff, and in the background I have it playing and recording. It is in real time, so it's about 6 hours more footage. I'm about halfway through, so I got about 6 hours of uploading to do. So I imagine in the next week or 2 I should have all of it ready, and we can
Okay.
go.
All right.
Just let me know.
Sure.
All right. The next 2 items on the open items are both related to procedures and getting the procedures written or finished, updated, and then tested out to make sure that someone could actually pick them up and use them. And that brings me to a point. So part of the issue with getting the coordinator reports out this month was typically, Chris, you're providing some data to Ron to generate those reports. And because of your schedule, that didn't happen. So my question is this: we have a procedure for how to pull that data down, and if not, should we write a procedure for how to pull that data down? Give the procedure to Ron, and let's test it by having Ron use the procedure to pull the data down himself, so he doesn't have to, depend on you. If you're like extremely busy, then he can get it himself.
Sure.
And accomplish 2 things. Once he gets the data, and secondly, we'll test the procedure.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a procedure for that?
Yeah, there is a procedure. Is it written down in a format that I could show Ron right now? I would want to finesse it a little bit and just finalize a couple of things and make sure it's good. And then you could let me know. You can confirm it. I could give it to you. But I have a procedure for that, and I could share it, and we could just that sounds great. Yeah, I could absolutely do that.
So when can you have that to Ron to test out?
I could have that for Ron 2 weeks. I can
2 weeks?
get everything. Yeah. Because I have some editing. I have to do the firemen's, the fireworks and the concert. I want to get that stuff done. I want to update. I have some programs that I want to finish editing and just get through a couple things to get myself caught up, and then I can make sure that Ron gets those procedures. So 2 weeks, and he could even try to get that information.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, 2 weeks probably puts you right at the right time to let him write the next report, right? So as long as you get it done by the time we have to write the next report, then I think we're good.
Yeah. And then you're saying like, in terms of like, basically you want me to come up with a procedure that will explain the whole side of what I have to do on my report?
Yes, you're part of the report. How do you get that data?
Okay.
The part you send Ron a whole bunch of data about which programs were run and what days they were run, and you also send me a bunch of hit data,
Right.
hit counts that I actually helped finish the report with, or have been doing recently. So if you could write the procedure for how to pull both sets of those data down, and then Ron could test it out, and I could test out even the hit data myself just to see how that works. Or, he could do all of it. It doesn't matter to me, but if we can do that in the next 2 weeks, get that procedure written, documented, and sent out for testing, that would.
Good, that'd be good. Look forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The last open item had to do with the schematic. Now, we had a lot of new equipment that came in last year. We were going to update the schematic of the studio for where all that equipment is and how it connects. I'm assuming that that's still in process, or is it done?
Yeah, it's still in process.
Do we have an ETA for any of these things?
I guess, with the schematic, I can just go. I have a schematic. I just want to give it give it a look over, make sure things are up to date. So we could get that done in 2 weeks. We could make that a goal.
No. Let's push that one out a little bit. So I think right now we're piling too many things on.
Excuse me?
I don't think 2 weeks is enough time to finish that. 'Cause, I mean, also on the list was the BOE schematic. Oh my God. So why don't we push that one out at least to the next meeting?
Okay.
And the BOE schematic I'd rather make that after we finish the installation.
Yeah, that makes sense. We wouldn't want to schematicize the old.
I agree.
Yeah. So right now, just town hall, and just get it as far as you can by the next meeting. And so we should just put it on the agenda to have him present what he has.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
All right.
I know we saw it probably probably a long time ago, like probably 7 or 8 months, and it was pretty far. So
Yeah.
I think it's not. I'm sure there's some new equipment that has to be added or subtracted. So, but
There is a couple of things. I just want to make sure I have it up to date before I present it.
yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. It doesn't. 2 weeks is not going to do us any good, other than let you present it at the next meeting.
That's great. Yeah, it's totally fine.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on those action items? Not, we go on to CAT grant. So we put in a grant for, I think it was like $32,000 in total.
Yeah, it's a big ass this year. Yep.
32,198.
Thank you. 32,198 and I think 60 cents and
80 cents.
80 cents. Okay. And Civil Advisory Council gave us everything but the 80 cents.
Are you serious?
How can we manage our budget then?
I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I think I'll put a
lack of 80 cents.
I'm going to volunteer the 80 cents.
Don't
It's a
worry.
division problem.
In any event, so we basically got what we asked for, and I've already ordered everything from our equipment vendor in New York, and they were closed for the
6 months
last
from
2
now.
days. No, they were closed for the last 2 days. and they are open today. And I checked today, and it looks like they shipped, I think, almost everything. There were two sets of cables that were back ordered. The only other issue we had was we requested a mixer, and it's not really the one we originally wanted because no one can get that one. The one we requested was available until we ordered it, and now it's back ordered. And they would not let us, normally they just back order it, but they said, no, we either cancel the whole order or you get the rest of the order without this. And when we get it back in, you have to go get another quote. So I said, send us everything you have. All right. So they looks like pretty much everything may arrive tomorrow. It's being shipped FedEx. They always ship FedEx to us, and it's from New Jersey. It should be here tomorrow, probably Monday at the latest. I will check in the morning and see if delivery is scheduled for tomorrow or not, because I have to go grab the serial numbers off of the equipment for the report we have to send to the Cable Advisory Council. So I'll let you know if it actually comes in. Later in the day, earlier today, I ordered the services from Telview, and I received an acknowledgement that they received the order, and they will, and that order is all software updates anyway, or service extensions. So they just take care of that in-house. They don't have to ship us anything. And I got an email from Telview that they will update their database. So that order went through. And the only thing left that we have to order other than that mixer, and I have a tickler in with the vendor to send me an email when the mixer comes in, and then I will have to scramble to try and get it before they sell it out again. And hopefully the price won't change, but they can't guarantee that. The only other thing left is a rolling case, Chris, that I think you were going to get at Home Depot. And it's a small dollar value item. And you bought one of these before for us, from them, and I forget how you did it to avoid the sales tax. But you may need to go get the sales tax exemption form from Corinne.
Right.
I'll have her email you one and take that in with you and buy that thing.
I think the way I did it last time was I borrowed one of the credit cards, one of the Home Depot credit cards that we have. And I think the way it works is they'll charge us the tax on the credit card, but then we just don't have to pay that amount when it comes time to pay the bill.
Why don't I have Corinne send you the
That doesn't
tax
sound right.
exemption form and try taking that in and doing it that way.
Yeah, I'll just, I mean, the way I did it last time worked, and I know, I mean, I've done it before. I don't, I mean, the tax exemption form, I'll be honest, every time I try to use that thing, no one at whatever store seems to understand how to interpret it. I don't know why.
Go to the customer service desk.
Yeah. So in Home Depot, Chris, you just got to go to the pro desk. They're used to dealing with that.
Yeah, it's a hassle every time. But I think I don't know. I'll just check. I think there's a however I did it last time. I know I used a town credit card.
Because it's on the grant, I don't want to have any issues with this stuff, and because I have to report on it.
But yeah, especially
I need a clean receipt and all of that stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Chris, the other thing is,
I'll talk to Corinne tomorrow and have her send you a tax exemption form.
I have the form.
Take it to.
Okay. I already have it. But thank you.
And Home Depot, I believe I've worked with them before for Camp Cedar Crest. They have almost all of the local orgs already in their computer. So you just say, I'm from the town of Orange. They'll look it up and they validate it right on the spot. They don't. They're pretty good at it now. Right,
so you have to
they used to be horrible.
So you have to go to the pro desk.
You have to go to the pro desk because otherwise they don't even have the computer to look it up.
All right. Okay, great. That's it for CAC grant. Equipment inventory, no changes. Town talk we discussed. And the last item on the agenda is input for the annual town report. So I've sent you the letter that I got from the town requesting our input to the annual town report. And I've created a draft input, and I hope you all read it. That's my proposal for what we should send in. It is due at the end of this month. So any comments on what I've written?
No, that's pretty good.
No, other than,
It's just as good as the last one.
are we allowed to put our vacancies in bold so we can hopefully?
No, those are
attention?
not part of the report, actually.
Oh, okay.
The report is just the first page. I just put that in just to list who the members are, just to make sure that we're consistent. But that is actually not in the report, although it may appear in the front of the whole town's report.
The boards, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, for anybody that's watching at home, we have 3 open spots on the OGAT commission. So please, contact Town Hall if you are interested at all in joining our local government access television there.
That's getting a little boring. I think we should take it off for a while.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
well, it's on OGAT as a bulletin board item is what Ron was referring to.
I was trying to
Mike was just making
I was doing a live
commercial.
PSA. Come on, guys.
All right.
Begging.
And by the way, it's also like the last line in the report might also say if you want to join. Can I have if there are no comments or suggestions to change it, I'll make a motion
I have
to
a
approve it.
comment.
I move that we adjourn.
Wait, I have a comment first.
Oh,
How about if we were to use some funds and to send out a letter asking people to become part of OGAT?
you mean a mailing?
Yeah, do a mailing.
Who'd you mail it to?
I'd mail it to every home in Orange.
I don't know how the town would feel about that one.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's an interesting idea. I've never really thought about it.
It's election year. They're not going to think about it, Gary. Remember,
I mean, I joined after I lost an election. So, I mean, hopefully we can grab some
I mean, we
after that.
could put in that letter, that this is like a non-partisan committee. It's,
understand, but they're
doesn't take much.
tied up.
Takes a couple hours a month, and
What is an ad run in the local newspapers? Because I mean, those already go to the town. So I mean, they might be cheaper than trying to hit every
but
door in town with our own flyer.
I'm not. Yeah, but you could. I don't think people are going to find it in the newspaper. And plus, I think it'd be more expensive, truthfully. If you have 1,000 homes in Orange, what do you have? 1,000?
4,000.
4,000.
How many? 4,000.
4,000.
Okay.
Like 4,400. I think even like the simplest flyer I have is over $6,000, if I remember right, with postage and printing.
Yeah.
Well, you can get it stuffed in the newspaper for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but those I think, just to Gary's point, those tend to get lost, right?
Yeah.
I can certainly ask Jim and see what his recommendation is for finding another member. He knows so many people, and he's very if he's always looking out for things. And if I can just get a second to talk to him about it, I'm sure he could give me some advice on what I could do to reach out to people or what we could do.
Well, that's good. We could just think about it, and
I think it's a good idea to we should at least think about it.
If you have 4,000, households in it, and it costs 50 cents to send a flyer, that's $2,000.
Yeah.
Plus whatever it costs to type it up and print it out. I mean, which is nothing. So it's not going to cost $6,000. It's going to cost maybe $2,100.
Actually, less. We can get a special deal from the post office, probably for about 30 cents a head.
Okay, so now all of a sudden we're down to less than $2,000. And it's just something that's possible. I don't know. I just been thinking about it and wondering what would happen if we
It's a good suggestion. We probably
can put it on the agenda for next time and talk
Yeah,
about it
all right.
after Mike talks to Mr. Zioli.
That was Chris.
Chris, oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I have spoken to the first selectman several times over the last couple of years, and
I thought you
the
had.
problem he has is that it's difficult to find people who are willing to serve on committees. It's just very difficult.
Of course it is.
I don't know if that's a sign of the times or the things that are going on globally, pandemics and stuff, but it's very difficult to find people.
We're not the only committee that needs people.
Yeah,
It's that way almost across the board.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
well, we're down to our, like, if everybody doesn't show up, we don't have a quorum.
Yeah.
We're at the bare minimum right now.
Maybe we should look
What do we
into
need, two?
changing the bylaws
We need 3.
to allow, maybe we should look into changing the bylaws so that if somebody doesn't show up, we can still have a meeting.
I think that might be really hard because aren't we? We're a permanent committee, so like that's like town charter change or something.
Yeah.
That's not charter, but what is it called?
So I think it's a
Standing committee.
Yeah, we're a standing
we're a
committee. so
standing
you-
committee, but
You
I
have
think
to
it
actually
has
have
to
a
have,
public hearing and change the.
the quorum has to be 50% plus one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think Gary's changed the membership, so we're only 4 people membership, so we can have a
And
meeting.
I've taken,
no, I was-
I've asked the town attorney if is that total membership or just active members? It's based on total membership. If you have 7, the vacancy, it doesn't matter if they're vacancies, it's still going to be 4 for a quorum.
Yeah, but for example, like zoning only has 5 members. Like we
Yeah.
could have 5 members as a permanent thing.
Oh, if we could reduce the membership.
The
Yeah.
total, the open membership, get rid of
Yeah.
a spot or
That's-
2, and
that's
that will
another
reduce our
option.
load. But I think that
Another option.
requires us changing some rules in town, probably have a public hearing and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Try and remember to discuss, we'll put it on the agenda for next meeting and see what we can come up with. Thanks,
Good.
Gary. Thank you.
All right,
All right, I believe that's all the business.
go ahead, Bob.
You haven't done a motion to accept the annual town report.
That's right. Bob actually had made the
No,
motion.
his motion was to try to adjourn.
No,
That's right. It was to try and adjourn.
So hold on, I make a motion to accept Saul's draft for the town report.
Okay.
So moved. Seconded.
all right. We have Mike and Gary. Thank you. All in favor?
I,
Okay.
all right, Bob, it's your show.
I move we adjourn.
I second that.
Okay. Thank